The problem with my courtyard is it is right off a main road, and people cut through there constantly. From the school, from military trail, it's very easy to have strangers walk in there and just throw stuff, because I've seen them do it before.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it to other places too. They'll throw their trash in people's courtyards.
So if someone was, say, running from the law and they were like passing your place, they could totally ditch whatever stolen merch or drugs they had over your fence.
You mean drugs like a used crack pipe?
Ooh.
Dang.
That's what I found right by my door at my courtyard.
A used crack pipe.
I asked Denny's to make sure. We have a picture of it too. We can post it. But yeah, someone must have just taken it and threw it right down there.
Wow.
But that's that happens a lot by where I live at.
Oh,
where
wow.
people are just throwing weird stuff around. You know where I live?
What?
I
that
do.
cutoff area.
It's
People can
real
cut through.
easy to cut through, and there's a lot of sketchiness around.
So my question is this. Let's say the police were to come to my place and they saw that crack pipe lying there, because it was by the door / by the courtyard, so it's technically on my property. Do I get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
I think they got to add a lot of stuff together. I know, like, usually when somebody has like drug paraphernalia on them, there's usually a lot of corresponding things that go with it. They're driving and under the influence, and there's all this other kind of stuff, and then they get cited for that.
But we're talking about a crack pipe. If a cop saw a crack pipe in my patio, he's just like, oh, it's probably not his.
No, they would probably think it was
I
yours.
think they would think it's
And then they'd
mine.
want to talk to you, and they'd be like, all right, let's see.
Yeah.
Is he acting like he's on crack? So when you open the door and you're wearing a pizza jacket and you're just a little bit nervous, they might think that you're on crack.
But sometimes you don't even have to act like you're on crack. They could talk to somebody. What if I did crack the night before and I forgot in my cracking state I left the pipe out there? My point is, this is kind of a horrifying thing if people can just throw things in your courtyard and then you could get busted for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't think you would, because I think they would, question you, and you can say, look, I don't know how that got there. That's not mine. Somebody just walked by and chucked
But that's
it
what
here.
people always say
I
when
know.
they get busted
Yeah.
with the crack
You're
pipe.
right.
It's not mine.
That's why I'm at.
Remember when Lindsay Lohan got busted? She's like, these aren't my jeans.
Now, that was cocaine in her jeans, which is a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, I think the actual drug on your person is a lot different than a piece of the paraphernalia to smoke said drug in your courtyard.
But the thing
Okay.
is, though, the stuff in the pipe, there's residue in there. So technically, because that's how they get people on pot, you can buy a brand new bowl as long as there's nothing in it. But as soon as there's residue or something in there, they can get you now for that drug.
Are you allowed to wash your pipe?
No, once it's used, I read a couple articles. You have to totally it has to be brand new. It can't have any trace.
Can you wash a pipe is my question.
I think you're asking the wrong guy.
Huh.
Denny's.
Like if I had a pipe that I knew I was going to smoke out of, I would just wash it each time so it never had any residue in
Okay,
it.
for example, when we filmed Victims Galore, there's a scene with Suits and Denny's blowing out of a bong, but we had to buy a brand new bong and put.
Even though we have 17 at home.
well, you couldn't. You can't have any kind of residue. Am I off on this, Denny's?
But Denny's, can you just take your bong and put it in the dishwasher?
No. The tar and resin that builds up takes a little bit stronger of a compound to break down. So you would have to. It would require some sort of like alcohol or something. Not
I
so
can't
much.
get no Brillo pad on it?
I mean, I could, but soap and water doesn't really break it down. If anything, it kind of makes it stickier. So you need something that's alcohol based to kind of break it up.
If it was all gone though, because she's got a good question.
If you have a completely clean pipe, yeah, you can carry it around because at that point it's not used for anything except for.
Why don't people just every time after they use their pipe clean it?
I
Why
why don't people do a lot of things?
Nothing's
It's
better
really
than-
hard to do when you're completely smacked out on crack.
Nothing's better than doing a bunch of crack and then
Is that
cleaning.
a stupid question?
I'm sure that the person smoking that crack was like, "Dang it! I should have washed it out."
Yeah.
You could actually, if you were responsible, yeah, for sure. You could
Yeah,
clean it
if
out
you're
every time.
A responsible crackhead.
You could.
Someone texted and said there's got to be possession. Just the pipe laying in your yard means nothing. You can't arrest somebody who has smoked crack. They need to have possession of it or to be in the act to get arrested.
Huh, so if I took a bag of cocaine, threw it on your lawn, and then called the cops, you don't get in trouble for that cocaine?
Don't think so.
That's interesting.
Right there on my lawn, because I'd be going. Somebody could have easily just thrown that on my lawn. They're like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I agree.
Why would I keep my
And
cocaine
look
on
at
my
me.
lawn?"
I'm obviously
Yeah.
a Boy Scout that does not party.
Well, I'm glad that's the law. I am.
That is. So there you go. So please stop throwing your crack pipes on Jbird's porch.
Please, hashtag be cool.
Show a little class.
Do you think it's somebody random or do you think it's somebody messing with you? Because we've talked about this before.
No, I think it's random.
You have neighbors that hate you.
But
No.
I mean, that's such a giant offense.
So my next door neighbors are very cool. I like them, and sometimes they listen to the show. I do not want to think that those are the neighbors I don't like. I love them. It's the other women that there's two women that we don't like that are mean. I don't think they planted a crack pipe on me.
Okay, yeah, it seems it's a little.